and today we're going to be picking Giri's brain just a little bit about really what it takes to be the #1 food VTuber on Twitch. Is that accurate, Giri? Is that a close thing to say right now?
The #1. Whoa! I was not expecting that kind of intro for my name. I was like, oh,
Let's
here's Giri, the
go.
streamer. You know, I'm like, #1 food VTuber. No. Well, I mean, I guess. I guess food VTuber. Literally, probably yes, but on stream, no, not even close. Am I the first?
I have to say, like, everything has been super impressive. I think we connected maybe 6-7 months ago, and I was like, how is this even possible? And then I looked into it, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
I remember your rise to fame, and I remember seeing it, and I remember thinking to myself, like, this is weird. How can anyone be a VTuber and a cook at the same time? Because honestly, it's kind of a dream job, like, if I'm being honest. And to see you like grow so much in popularity has just been so amazing. I will never forget, I was at a Christmas party last year, and I was talking with some people that I know in town. We were just like, oh yeah, have you heard about this food VTuber? She makes food. It's like really impressive. Like, she's come so far. And I was like, oh, other people are talking about her. People know her.
Embarrassed. Stop.
Yeah, no, you should be proud. Like, straight up, you should be proud. Like, you're a very big part of this community. And I think what's really cool is you've kind of led the charge in doing things that other VTubers don't do. Right? Like, from what I've seen, I don't follow the VTuber scene very much, but as Emily knows, we were at Anime Expo. VTubers were like, they took over
everywhere,
all of Anime Expo.
We're everywhere
literally
now,
like on the street of LA. There were the big like blown up like dolls of VTuber models. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, what year is this? Right?
Yeah.
It felt
VTuber
so
takeover. Let's
strange.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's cool.
and
It feels like anime in real life, if I'm kind of being honest. Like, I was watching Edge Runner, Cyberpunk?
Yeah,
Edge Runner?
Cyberpunk.
And I was just like, wow, we're coming closer and closer to this future where like virtual technology is like a real thing, and we use it in our everyday lives.
I love that though. But what has your thought process been in the past, like, let's say 6-7 months? Because I know you've been grinding for a while. And for those of you who don't know, Onigiri does have a cooking stream primarily on Twitch, but you do other stuff. I pop in your streams every now and then. But the big thing that you do is you do the cooking stream. So what was your thought process when you decided to like start as a VTuber cooking stream?
For me, it's just more so, I'm not much of a gamer. Unfortunately, I didn't really grow up playing games too much, and I was more of a homebody more than anything. So when I started being a streamer, I'm like, oh crap. Well, if I can't game and no one's going to want to watch me, well, what do I have going for me? I can't sing. I can't draw. I don't have any of the talents that a VTuber should have as a person with like no IRL face, you know? So I was like, wait, but I can cook. And for me, cooking content has always captivated me, whether VTubers choose to do hand cams, even like top-down shots and stuff like that. I've always wanted to tune into streams when they were doing things like that. So I was like, well, I can do that, but I don't want to be the same as everyone else. I want it to be different. I want it to be immersive. I want it to be something new and interesting that's uniquely mine. So I mean, I did get help. I didn't really do this all by myself. You know, I do have a tech wizard behind me, so and he was able to help me a lot. Yeah, Oni bro, he was able to help me a lot, and essentially made my dreams come true. Really, so. My passion has always been cooking, and now I get to cook with my chat and see new people come in all the time, and it's been really great for me so far.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's such a cool like story, because it's you know, it's like you and your brother are basically like taking on this very new endeavor. And I think what's interesting is, like you said, you didn't want to really show your face, and I try to think of other food creators that don't do that, right? There are quite a few on YouTube where you'll see like the ASMR creators who just have like their hands in the shot and everything, but I think there's something very different and something really cool to be said about like having a VTuber like avatar doing this stuff, versus you could have totally just done a cooking thing where it's just your hands, but this kind of like places you in a realm of like all these other really cool VTubers, but in a very like niche way.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I like was so attracted to it.
What has been the reaction? Have you had a lot of people talk about that or comment on it, or is I think people are generally positive to it, but has anyone said anything interesting or different about it?
No, I haven't had. Actually, fortunately, I haven't had any negative comments. Not that I'm aware, but I don't think anyone has said anything bad about it. But the most common comment that I would get when people pop into the stream was like, "Oh, magical hands," or like the streamer lingo is like, "Ooh, the booba hands." Maybe we can cut that out if that's not allowed on YouTube. But
No, that's
it's like,
totally
"Oh, the
fine.
booba hands," because the way that the layers are organized, it kind of looks like my real hands are sticking out of my assets, my booba. So they're like, why are you controlling those with the booba? But anyways, but those are like the usual comments that I get. But for the most part, everyone's like, whoa, that's so cool, or like, whoa, how'd you do that? And then I always see people in the chat kind of trying to like figure out the tech behind it. It's like, oh, what's the secret?
Yeah.
What do you got there? And then and I'm pretty open with it, so I'm just like, oh, it's this and that and blah blah blah. And they're like, oh, that's very cool, very very cool. And then originally people were in for the novelty of it, of course, and that was my goal too. That's how that was my plan to attract attention. But nowadays it's just more of a just chatting stream than like a real cooking show kind of thing. I just happen to be cooking at the moment, but it's just me vibing with my chat, having fun, having conversation, and I'm just kind of cooking on the side.
That
I
is
think-
so fun. I've done. Well, Paul, have you ever done a cooking stream before?
I have, and they are not my cup of tea. That's why, like, when I watch like cooking live streams, I have a lot of respect for the amount of effort that goes into it, because it's like there is a ton of effort that you have to lay out before you even get started, right? Like you have to make sure your ducks are in a row before you even like hit live. And I think for me, because of the way I'm currently operating, anytime I'm thinking about doing like a live stream for cooking, I'm like, nah, man, we're just going to film a video, because I'm so sporadic with my filming sessions. That's why, when I like see like a live stream that's cooking, it usually goes on for 3, 4, 5 hours, or like you have to pick very certain foods to cook, because like you're probably not going to bake a full cake or something and like, dress it all up in a single stream. But yeah, I can't do maybe for a special event coming up, but that's it.
I think they're so fun, and that's why I love what you do, Gary, because it is really fun to like cook and talk at the same time. It's really natural as a chef. When I'm having people over, I'm cooking, I'm hanging out in the kitchen, I'm talking with my friends, and I don't know, this might just be a me thing, but I get like a lot of kind of like not social anxiety, but sometimes I'm like a little awkward when people come over, and having something to do just makes me feel a lot more comfortable, and like cooking is that thing for me.
Yeah, I get a lot of comments sometimes where they're like, oh, it's really cool how you can read the chat, entertain, and still cook. But I'm just like, I don't think about it that way. I don't think of it as like a 3 portioned kind of a thing. For me, it's just like the talking and the cooking comes naturally. It's more so integrating chat or getting them involved. That's the difficult part, and I think that's a difficult part for all streamers, not just for me because I'm cooking. Like every streamer wants to care that there's chat engagement. So I think the cooking and the chatting part is actually not that complicated. And then I do like to do the segments weekly where I have friends on as well, and it's just more like they think it's more stressful for me, but I actually find it more relaxing, because like then I have another person sharing the entertainment load. But people are like, oh, you're gonna entertain your guests and entertain the chat. But I'm like, no, the chat, the guest is entertaining the chat. I'm entertaining the chat, and then I'm having conversation. Yeah, and then they're asking me questions too. It's not just a one-way street. It's not really like for my collab segments. It's not like it's not a podcast. It's not an interview. It's just literally my literal friends coming on, and then we just chat about some, like it could be something serious, it could be something really really silly. Every guest is different, every friend is different. And then I'm just like, no, I'm having fun, I'm vibing. It's not that hard work. Well, it's hard work, but it doesn't feel like hard work.
Which is interesting, because I've watched a couple of your collaboration streams, right? And I have to get it out of my head, because it's usually like 2 VTubers doing it. So I'm assuming that not a lot of the time they're actually there with you. They're kind of just teleporting in. And so you're right, like they can maybe like look at chat for you and ask questions and kind of like ping ideas off of you. And it's a super different dynamic that I like now that I think about it. And it's just something you can't really get if like, let's say Emily and I were in like a live stream next to each other cooking, right? Where both of us are kind of working versus like maybe you have a guest on that's helping you like with the chat side of it. Because I always had a hard time paying attention to chat and like doing the live stream thing. I'm a very bad live streamer, like a gamer, because I'll just ignore chat for like 5 minutes as I'm like hyper focused on something, and I'm like, that nobody's here for that. So seeing it's interesting to see that like food or cooking is your way of just really almost, now that you say it, like is a IRL stream, not IRL stream, but what is it? The just chatting almost.
Oh yeah,
but
just
with
chatting
food.
is a category. Yeah.
Right. But just with food, that it's all like very over my head. I feel so old. like, what are all these newfound gadgets?
I think you just need to practice with it, Paul, and you could be so good at it because you're such a good conversationalist, and it's really fun. And like someone that comes to mind is Malin, Gourmet Malin.
Oh, Gourmet.
She started just for fun. As far as I know, she started to just like prove that she could do it, and she's gotten really, really good at it, and has had a lot of fun with it. And it just takes practice to go in and put the time in every week.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll just like join one of your
right.
guys' live streams at some point and just do that instead.
Yeah.
But
Be a guest.
okay.
Hey, it's
so I
not
guess
for everyone. It's not for
no,
everyone.
it's not. Like you have to have a very certain skill to live stream, and I think that I couldn't do it. So that's why I have a lot of respect for live streamers who do it like literally every day. There's a huge grind mindset to that, and so that's why it's always like, oh my god, like just so many
That's
props.
true.
But
dude, you're like the king of grind mindset. You work so hard.
no. This isn't about my mindset. This is about how Geary got started, which I guess we kind of went over that. That was one of the things that I really wanted to talk about is